Welcome to the Shelf Examination Podcast, where we examine items found on the shelves of our local library. My name is Joe. I'm the Makerspace Coordinator for the libraries in Southern Utah.
And I'm Sarah. I'm the reference librarian here at the Hurricane branch of the Washington County Library System and a geeky guru.
That's right. And today we are continuing our Kaiju review with it's Cloverfield.
Cloverfield.
It's Hollywood's first attempt at a completely original Kaiju movie, a completely original Kaiju idea. I don't think
it was.
No, none of the movies that we have seen have been completely from a human perspective like this.
Honestly, this one, it kind of felt like a ripoff of War of the Worlds.
Okay.
With things put in the storyline.
Which War of the Worlds?
The book.
Okay, like the radio play, the book. That was a very human-centered. Yeah. Okay, I can see that. I can see this kind of being like War of the Worlds, but for kaijus.
Yeah, it was War of the Worlds, but for kaiju, without the funness of Independence Day, and it also didn't have a good resolution at the end.
Yeah, I mean, not to jump ahead, but yeah, this movie just kind of. It is unsatisfying. It is a downer.
I think they were trying to combine a kaiju movie with an end of the world natural disaster kind of movie.
Well, they were also trying to do it from the perspective. Yeah, Blair Witch. Blair Witch was 100% a major inspiration point.
And this is found footage. Same idea. Found footage.
They're trying to do everything from that individualized perspective of an individual.
Yeah, it's one camcorder that just kind of gets handed around.
Yes, no matter how contrived it is that they're handing it around sometimes. There were at least 3 times they should have stopped recording.
Yeah, and there was a number of points where I'm like, how much room is on this?
Yeah,
on this camera.
Or when they were in the subway and they were like, oh, it's so dark, turn on the light. I'm like, well, that's going to drain the battery. Oh no, wait, this thing has infinite battery
right
too.
Yeah, it's
like the old West
guns that never ran out of bullets.
Basically exactly that idea. Yeah, so I watched this with my kids, and at the end of it,
I'm shaking my head at you.
Yeah, well, they wanted to see it. I was like, I've got to watch this movie. And they're like, ooh, this one looks cool. I'm like, no, yes, it looks cool, but trust me,
looks can be deceiving.
And they were like, no, we want to watch it. And so we sat down and watched it. And at the end of it, they were all like, I need to go watch some kitten videos. I need a palate cleanser right now.
I need some Bluey or something.
I need something to change the mood, because this movie just
a downer.
Does not leave you in a good mood. It does not leave you happy.
No.
And I feel like, okay, I'm going to say this right now. As we're discussing the movie and we're discussing the synopsis of it, we'll maybe get into more details. But I had an idea that I think would have made this movie a lot better if at the end of it they had pulled out and we had seen whoever was watching this footage, which I imagine would be some government agent or something like that,
or a
general or something watching it in a bunker or something like that, and
or
have this
an
moment
anthropologist who comes across it.
Yeah, and give us a moment of, oh well, those poor people, but
humanity survived.
Humanity, or even if there was one moment in the movie where they could be like, but they showed us this, and that could be the key, and we turn over and see that they're still fighting the movie, but this
is the answer to the problem.
Hope.
Right.
Something.
There was none of that.
None of that. And as a consequence, what we got is a movie that
No.
Okay. No, my number one note on this is J J Abrams.
He produced it.
This was his baby.
Yeah.
He wanted this movie, and he wanted this movie in this way.
Yeah, he wanted the found footage.
But he also wanted the incomplete storytelling, because you remember he also did Lost.
Yes.
And Lost was all about setting stuff up but never delivering on it.
No. The end sucked and Lost.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, he set
that was my
stuff
personal
up.
opinion. Some people loved it. I hated the end.
I watched only the last season of Lost. I skipped the rest of it, and I found it to be okay because I never had any of the setups that were undelivered.
Okay, I will admit that the only reason why I watched that show was for Mira Furlan.
Okay, fair enough.
because I'm a Babylon 5 fan, and when I found out that she was in it, I had to watch it.
And the one other thing, at the beginning of my movie,
at the beginning of Cloverfield.
Yeah, at the beginning of the movie, my kids were like, "This is definitely a different perspective." They appreciated what it was trying to do at that point, but by the end of it, they were like, "This is freaking dumb."
Yeah, I was like, "I need Dramamine." Well,
it's not just that it was difficult to watch because it was difficult to watch, but it was again just super unsatisfying. All right, so let's jump into the synopsis here. The synopsis says, as a group of New Yorkers enjoy a going-away party, little do they know that they will soon face the most terrifying night of their lives.
Dun, dun, dun.
A creature the size of a skyscraper descends upon the city. Did it descend or come up? We don't know. We didn't see. They were busy partying and stuff.
No, they do show later that it has descended, but it was like 2 weeks ago.
Was it?
Yeah.
Weird. I don't remember that.
It's a little clip at the end.
Okay. A creature, let's say, leaving death and destruction in its wake. And, okay, I will say, one of the cooler parts of this movie, and they gave it away in the trailers, was the Statue of Liberty head showing up there. When my kids saw it, they were like, is that how big it is? It seems like it should be bigger. And I don't know. I would assume that J J Abrams did his research, but it did seem like a fairly small head. It seemed like if it stood upright, that only one person could stand in it.
Oh no, it's bigger than that.
And I thought it was.
Yeah, no, I remember the perspective going, well, that's weird.
Yeah, maybe it was just a case of like,
because
she hit the other Statue of Liberty, the smaller one. Up in her crown, people can stand.
There's a whole gallery. Yeah. Not that you can go up there anymore, but. So
apparently she got the smaller version of the Statue of Liberty, or it shrunk. It shrunk in the wash.
They did do a smaller version, but it was a lot smaller. So.
And it also was not in New York, where this whole thing
York.
was. So she flung it all the way from. I keep on using she to describe the Cloverfield monster. I don't know why.
They didn't specify.
They didn't specify one way or the other. Let's see. Using a handheld camera, the friends record their struggle to survive as New York crumbles around them. That's all the plot synopsis that this site wants to give. And I tell you the truth.
The going away party was because one of the characters was moving to Japan.
Yes. And it was a framing device so that we could get to know these characters, so that we could care about them.
Yeah.
And I will say it went on way too long.
Yeah.
When the monster finally showed up, I remember letting out an audible, finally.
Right.
They could have built these characters up
because
instead of just all at the front.
They have this scene where one of the guys and one of the girls, they've had a night of passion together, and they part ways.
She ends up being the damsel in distress that motivates them not just as evacuating.
But they part ways at the end of their tryst, and she's left kind of not sure where they stand in the relationship.
Well, so he's not sure either.
So they both come back to the party, and she brings a different date with her, and so then that leaves tension. And I'm like, do we need any of this?
No, and especially since immediately afterwards, it's her who is stuck in the building that he is, so gung-ho about, I'm going to go save her.
I gotta go save her.
And then these other friends who, for no good reason, go, we are going to go with you.
Yeah, they were like, oh, yeah, solidarity, sure.
Yeah, exactly. It makes very little sense, but hey, and she ends up, literally being the damsel in distress, literally being the princess that they have to rescue.
Yeah, it's Princess Daphne. So
she's pinned down on rebar when they find her. Yeah.
Ouch.
It was a hard scene to watch.
That was an ouch moment, yeah.
There was also another good scene in this. When we finally do get to actually have a face reveal of the monster, that
was intense.
That was intense, and we got a full shot of it, and it was a good shot.
Yeah.
And it really made you feel like, ooh, there it is.
That's creepy, yeah. And that's cool. It's not a Godzilla knockoff, yeah.
And that's where they go underground into the subway, hang out for a little while, eventually decide that they're going to go to a different, because obviously the trains aren't running, not because of the kaiju, just because it's New York. So
yeah. Because it's New York and they're never running.
At this point, they run into what I'm calling the Om Nom monsters.
Om Nom Nom
Because
nom,
that's the sound that they
made.
They had this sound.
I know, it was funny. I was watching it, and my husband was in the other room, and he walks in because he keeps hearing me go, nom, 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 nom. He's like, what are you? I'm like, watch, nom, 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 nom. So I'm glad it's not just me that came up with that.
Yeah. Now, these monsters existed for one purpose and one purpose only, and it was because they chose to shoot this from a first-person perspective. Right. We could not have all the drama being on a Godzilla scale.
No.
We needed a human scale threat to make it worth it.
It's like when you're watching the second Harry Potter movie.
Yeah.
And you have the teeny tiny normal sized spiders. Not a threat. And then you have Aragog, giant Aragog.
Right.
He's too big to even be believable. But those medium sized car sized spiders, those freak me out.
Yeah.
Because they're human and they're human sized and they're attacking you. And the Aragog couldn't care less.
I have never seen or thought that in any of these other kaiju movies that we've seen that, well, there must be some sort of smaller threat falling off of the giant monster so that the humans have something to run from. No! A kaiju is enough reason to run.
I think they were playing off of the Jurassic Park raptors.
Yes, they definitely were.
Apart from the,
and I will say, the design of the Omnom monsters was...
They were pretty cool.
They were kind of different, for sure. Yeah, like they were like 90% teeth.
Yep.
And
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, they were. They had like mouth for days.
They were like what the Langoliers should have looked like in the Langoliers movie?
Maybe. They definitely weren't raptors. They didn't give me raptor vibes.
No, they didn't,
but
it was like having the smaller,
it's a human-sized threat.
thing as opposed to the giant T-Rex or whatever.
Exactly, because we couldn't have a whole movie with giant-sized threats, so we had to have these Omnom monsters, but they made no sense.
No, that was all they were there for, is to chase you through the streets.
I understand that at one point in production, they wanted to have the Cloverfield monster have like a bunch of tentacles dangling from its throat that were like external esophaguses that were just grabbing people and eating them as they go.
Ew.
Yeah, well, that's, I think, the reason why they didn't go with that.
That's all I got to say about that.
But again, it creates a human-sized threat for the whole situation, as opposed to,
because that's something you can believably, a person could believably defeat.
Yeah.
As opposed to giant monster.
Yeah. So that's my thought on the Omnom monsters. They didn't help.
No. They didn't further the story at all.
But they were also necessary because of the way they chose to tell the story.
Yes.
I think that this story was hoisted by its own petard in a very real way. Because he chose to tell the story in this way, the threat could not be the kaiju.
No,
And so we ended up with a smaller threat.
It was like the kaiju was the inciting incident.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the
threat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to go on. And unfortunately, there isn't a whole lot. They get to the girl. They have to... Her building is falling down, but it's leaning against another building. So they go up the building that's not broken down yet and jump across to her building and find her and pull her off the rebar with a squirching, sluicing sound.
Yeah, I was like, the Foley guy had a good time with that.
Yeah, no kid. I'm pretty sure he was like pulling apart cantaloupes with his fingers or something. It was a noise.
That is a good way to put it.
And then they get her. They take her downstairs. Some of them escape on a helicopter.
Yeah.
But the second
They're
helicopter.
in 2 helicopters.
Yeah, they have to get to a second helicopter. The second helicopter
gets knocked from the sky by kaiju.
Which, once again, just like in Ferris Bueller Godzilla, once again, you have a helicopter fly
up, not
fly
forward,
higher, get out of the range of the monster. No, they didn't do that. They get knocked down by the monster, and they get knocked down.
But everyone survives. The friend group.
I was going to say the two survived it. Well, no, there are 3 because there was the boyfriend or the boy and the girl and the idiot doing the recording. HUD. Yeah, great name.
I was like, I would hate someone calling. If my name were Hudson, I would hate to be called HUD. That just sounds terrible.
Except this particular character
seems
like the sort of person who you'd call HUD. It just fit him.
Not wrong.
And then they're in Central Park. And of course, at the beginning of the movie, it says this footage was found in Central Park. So at this point, we know that 1, this is where the movie ends, and 2, they're not going to survive. it's difficult to root for these characters and hope that something happens when you know that they're going to die.
Well, you don't automatically know. For all we know, they
know.
dropped the camera there. But yeah, you didn't have a hopeful outlook for them.
No, not really. Not really. And that was the thing.
And so a bridge falls on them.
Well, they get nuked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They try and hide under the bridge.
They try and hide under the bridge from a nuke, which it turns out duck and cover, not the best strategy in the end. I don't know.
Guess what? Your school desk is not going to save you from a nuclear weapon, but it gave you something to practice.
Yeah, indeed. Well,
all of us Gen Xers are like, oh yeah.
Quite frankly, the best choice when a nuke hits is be as close to the impact,
right? Because then you won't survive.
You won't suffer for long.
Either that or be in a lead line bank vault, just as the two ladies in Hiroshima.
Yeah. Or what is it? The rule of thumb from Fallout: if it's bigger than your thumb, then you're in trouble. If it's not, you can escape. Which I think has been disproven as
many times.
But, oh well.
But
and then that's it. The movie ends.
Yeah,
and you're just left going.
They try to hide under a bridge to get away from the initial blast is what they're trying to survive.
Yeah,
and the bridge.
And apparently
falls
they
on them.
do because the bridge falls on them, and we get I love you too, and
Blech.
Video end.
But
movie end.
It ends. If you continue to watch through the credits, you get an eye catch.
Oh, I didn't.
You get a couple. You get one where it shows it's like 2 weeks before the party, and they're at Coney Island.
Okay.
And
this was the footage that was previously recorded.
Yeah, it was still on the camera from
okay.
And it was at the beginning of the quote unquote on the film of the camera, the storage in the camera.
Oh, they caught the descent?
No, you see this thing falling from the sky in the background of the shot where they're all like being goofy, and you see this little thing go. And then the second eye catch is you just have this weird light filtering through, and you hear "Help us." But, and I had to find this out from IMDb or wherever. I don't remember where I looked
Wikipedia.
it up. If you play that part backwards, they hear "It lived." Or no, it's still alive.
It's still alive.
It says it's still alive.
Okay. Well, and again, I still feel like a framing device, which, even if it had still been alive, if there had been some hope from this.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, that doesn't even help.
No, that doesn't help. It doesn't provide any hope.
But yeah,
it doesn't provide any
why would you bother putting in backwards sublimination? I was like, wow, we're going back in time here.
No kidding.
Put backwards sublimination to "It's still alive" in a movie that you're expecting people to see in theaters.
Yeah.
And
well, no,
you're not going to get that.
I will say, J J Abrams probably fully expected this movie to be on video.
Oh yeah, by this point,
he fully expected that people were going to dissect
you're not
this
gonna
movie.
Catch that.
But he also, I think, didn't make a movie worth dissecting. I know that there are people who have made video essays about this. I know that there are people who have opinions about the monster and stuff like that.
There are some people who really love it,
but not
it's
many.
Just not for me. No.
Not many. I think overall this movie kind of flopped. It did well enough into theaters, I understand, to make back its money, and it got 2 sequel kind-ofs. Okay, so you've heard of these sequels. Yeah. There's 10 Cloverfield Lane, which doesn't have a monster in it. It is, and I've just read a synopsis. I have not watched this one, but it's a woman gets kidnapped by John Goodman, I think.
Okay.
And he tells her that, you got hurt, and then the world freaking ended, and we are down here in the basement to keep you safe and alive, and we saved your life. But she doesn't really trust him. Has she been kidnapped? Is he holding her against his will? And then she manages to fight him and or kill him and escape, and it turns out the world really did end.
He was telling the truth.
Well, he was still being a creep.
Well, yeah.
So, it wasn't like he was a good guy in this one. And then there was the Cloverfield paradox, where on some space station they're going to activate some technology that is going to provide power to the entire Earth, but it might rip a hole in reality, and it rips a hole in reality.
And guess where the monster comes from?
And yeah, exactly. Supposedly the monster comes from that event, but because it's a multiverse thing, it came from a different multiverse into the first movie's multiverse, and that's how it's all tied to. And I don't.
We should leave that to Marvel.
I don't care.
Yeah, I'm like, we should leave it to Marvel.
Yeah, I really.
Because any way you look at it,
care.
there's still no way that they're gonna survive. That nothing changes. There's no hope added to it.
Yes, I am starting to realize that when I watch a movie, I want
closure.
Well, I want to feel good at the end.
Yeah, I
want
be
to leave with an up
entertained
feeling, and this one definitely did not deliver.
Do not watch Grave of the Fireflies.
I know, and I haven't.
Oh, I have once.
I know.
It's like watching Schindler's List. Such a good movie. Never watch it again.
Yes, there are movies like that I will watch again.
But you know it's going to be that way ahead of time.
yeah, and there's something redeemable in
Yes.
it, even if it kicks you. I'm talking about Life is Beautiful here. Yeah. Yes, but
Such a good movie.
Such a good movie.
But
all right. You know what? Honestly, though, I don't have anything else to say about this movie. We've only been talking. This might be our shortest episode. And you know what? That's about right. Cloverfield. So let's put it on the list. I'm not even going to entertain the idea of it being in the first half of this list. The question is it better or okay? So at my halfway point is Gamera 1995. Gamera 1995 was better than it.
I think I'm going to put it under All Monsters Attack.
So for you...
No. Below Gamera.
No,
it was better than Gamera. Better than Gamera, worse than All Monsters Attack.
So right there.
Yeah.
All right. I am thinking, I don't know. For me, the
different perspective was interesting.
Yeah, the different perspective was interesting. And it was an original monster, and I want to give him credit for that. But I just didn't enjoy the movie. I will say the original 1995 Gamera was better in retrospect than because of the other Gamera movies. I almost, you know what? No, I've got Rodan at the bottom. The bottom of my list goes All Monsters Attack, Rodan, Gamera 2, Gamera 3. Now, I have said multiple times that I feel bad for Rodan being that low on the list because parts of Rodan were good
cool,
and parts of Rodan were bad. But I cannot in good conscience put Cloverfield above Rodan. So for me, Cloverfield is in the bottom 3. The question is it better or worse than Gamera 2 Legion or Gamera 3 The Revenge of Iris? You know what? Gamera 2 Legion had that one awesome scene where the dude pulled out his gun and like bad mother killed the bad guy. I am going to put this between the two Gameras. And so it's going to be Gamera 3 Revenge of Iris is irredeemable. It's at the bottom of the list, but Cloverfield, well, no, hold on for 1 second. I may be rethinking this. Cloverfield was worse than it. Cloverfield's at the bottom of my list, folks. Cloverfield's all the way. It's setting a new floor.
Okay, I'll grant you that. I mean, as bad as Gamera was, I was entertained. And it had a happier ending.
You did not finish Gamera 3.
No,
you have not seen Gamera 3.
No, I didn't.
And so, but that said, you didn't finish Cloverfield the first time you watched it either. You forced yourself this time and you regret it.
I'm going to have Gamera 3 at the bottom and then
Cloverfield right above it. Okay, I will support either one of those decisions, but I like that one. I think that's exactly where Cloverfield belongs is just
way down
sucking the bottom of the list because
I was like, this is J J Abrams? What?
No, but that's the thing, though. This was J J Abrams.
Yeah.
It was unsatisfying. It set stuff up that it never delivered on. It was experimental. It was possibly fun, but quite frankly, I did not enjoy it. I did not enjoy it as much as I enjoyed other things that J J Abrams has done.
Oh, yeah. I have some of my favorite movies are J J Abrams movies. But...
Except, I will also say, I don't think that he did Star Trek well. And I don't think that he did Star Wars well. I don't think that he was at the helm of the best Star Wars. I don't think that he was at the helm of the best Star Trek. I think he, maybe not the worst Star Trek, but definitely the worst Star Wars movies were in his hands.
He didn't do 8.
Did he not? I thought he was a part of it.
But he wasn't the lead director or producer. He was for 7
That's
and
right.
9.
No, they handed that over to somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he
that's
was
right.
for 7 and 9, which is why 9 is like, all that stuff in 8, it never happened.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think that was. I don't think that was a good choice either.
That was not the right answer. No, I was like, where did Rose go? What's going? What?
Now that I'm thinking about it, like, what has J J Abrams done that I really did like? I can't think of anything. Which Spider-Man?
I don't remember which one. I know
which Spider-Man did J J Abrams? He did not do the good ones.
Didn't he do Avengers?
No, that was the Buffy guy. That was Joss Whedon.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, that was Joss Whedon. In fact, it was totally Joss Whedon. That was a Joss Whedon show 100%. Same guy who did Firefly.
Yes, which I love so much. Except,
Firefly's
why
fantastic.
did you kill Wash? Okay, I'll better now.
Yeah. He had to wash his hands of that one.
But I'm bummed.
Yeah, I can't think of anything. Honestly, this movie may completely and finally erode all faith that I have in J J Abrams as a director.
Look up J J Abrams' filmography. I want to know.
We'll look it up offline. I think that we're gonna call it here. Call this a good place to stop.
I think so.
Bagging on J Abrams and putting Cloverfield in its place at the bottom of the list. But I think that we are going to wrap it up here.
Yeah, I could not enjoy it. I didn't, and I'm sad about that.
Although, wait. We get to have a little bit of hope because what's happening next? The next movie that we are going to be looking at is Godzilla from 2014.
Woo-hoo!
Wait, hold on for a second, though. I have here that Pacific Rim was in 2013 and Godzilla was in 2014.
I'm okay with that.
I think that we need to do Pacific Rim first. My list is off for some reason, so we're going to do
Pacific
Rim next, and then Godzilla after that, and then Shin Godzilla after that.
And mechas.
I am building myself up to Shin Godzilla, but next week we get mechas fighting monsters, which, as we've discussed,
by Guillermo del Toro.
There's a lot to love in this movie. I'm curious how we're going to rank it.
I don't know,
because as a kaiju movie.
It's a kaiju.
It's kind of not.
Yeah, they're like alien invaders.
Yes, and they have no personality.
They have the different types.
Yeah.
Have different types of aggression and different, but not really.
Not really personality. Not really anything that matters in the movie. This movie is more about the robots than about the monsters, and the robots are darn cool. The other thing that
the Chinese one, I was like, what? That's cool. It's got 3 hands.
Yeah, I loved everything about this. No, I won't say I loved everything about this movie, but there was a lot to love in this movie. But how does it sit in the ranking? You'll have to find out next week.
Dun, dun, dun.
We'll have to find out next week. I don't know. We'll find out.
So if you like what we have to say, or there's something you want to correct us on, we're okay. Hate mail is still mail.
At least they're writing.
At least they're listening. So drop us a line, put a comment, hit the thumbs up button, and let us know what you think. And so I'm Sarah.
And I'm Joe.
And we are inviting you to do some self-examination of your own at your local library.
Thanks for listening.